guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you briefly about one of the biggest misconceptions about the keto diet. And I could safely say the keto and or low carb diet. And when I have conversations with people about keto or low carb, the first thing people want to say, and I think I might be reading too much into it, but is that they say it's hard to sustain. Oh, I couldn't do that. It's too hard to sustain. And the reason I think they say it, a lot of times people, let's face it, we have some trouble going on in the USA. And what I mean by that is, it's no secret, 40% of our population is obese. And we need help. And so that's my point and purpose of this YouTube channel, is to try to help people understand and make a difference and try to better their health, whether it's keto or low carb or not, or something that maybe I say that sticks in your mind that wants to encourage you to do something for the better of your health. But the idea of keto and low carb being hard to sustain is absolutely ridiculous. And here's my point why. If you follow me along on YouTube so far, you see that I have different videos, and some of them are recipes where I'm in the kitchen cooking. And for example, the last one, or one of the last videos I did, was on low carb bread that's actually healthy and tasty and doesn't have a lot of carbs in there. And so, I mean, when I first started keto, the idea of eating bacon and eggs every day was like unbelievable. Like, you mean I could eat bacon and eggs every day and lose weight? Like, I couldn't believe it. Because for so many years, I was told that low-fat diet was the way to go. And in fact, it's not, okay? It's not the way to go for me. Maybe for you it is, but for me, it isn't. And over time, I've been on keto for over 3 years now. And I can honestly say it's not hard to sustain. It's a big misconception that I think that we're conditioned to believe it. People say it, but they don't really even know what they're talking about because they've never tried it. So how could you say that if you haven't tried it? And in today's day and age, I get the idea of everything is fast and we're on the go and grab and go and all that. But the truth is, there's so many options available today. Whether you buy prepackaged stuff that's keto or you make your own stuff that's keto and low carb, you can do it. So that hard to sustain thing is right out the window as far as I'm concerned. Don't believe it. And the other point is that there's a lot of hoopla about the fact that keto can be unhealthy. And it can be unhealthy if you don't watch what you're doing and have good guidance on it. Now, there's a few reputable websites and people on YouTube that have good, solid, evidence-based information, like dietdoctor.com. They're one of the first scientifically based websites that is run by mostly doctors. That's why it's called dietdoctor.com. And they're really at the forefront of a lot of studies and, information that's useful, data that you can look on if you want to make an informed decision about your health. Because the way we've been going about it in this country for all these years, since the 70s, is not good. As far as the low-fat diets. Because think about it. Back in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, the sugar industry paid off Harvard researchers. It is a fact. Look it up. Google it. $50,000, and back then that was like $1 million, to say that it was the fat that was increasing cardiac illness and increasing diabetes and increasing heart disease. But the truth is, I mean, if you have any knowledge and if you're up to date with things, you realize that it's not the fat that did that. What did it was the sugar, and it increased our diabetes in this country. Like, I don't even know by how many percentage it went up. Because what happened was, after that, the food industry decided to take fat out of foods and add sugar. So this is, we've created our own epidemic of diabetes. And you know, you're going to find across the internet people like me talking about this, and maybe people that are in the health field might poo-poo what I'm talking about. But the truth is, you got to do your own research to look into it for yourself, because it's your health, isn't it? So the whole idea of keto and low carb being hard to sustain is absolutely ridiculous, because here's my point. I eat whole foods. I eat healthy foods. I don't overdo it. When I gotta be honest, when I first started keto, I went overboard with bacon and eggs, for example. And then there were these recipes. You can find a gazillion recipes online. And you know what? There is a time and place for everything. For example, keto bread, low carb bread, different desserts. You know, I'm very careful about that. I don't really think it's a great idea to constantly have desserts in my food plan. But people do that follow keto low carb diet, and they're doing well with it. For me, I gotta, check and balance different things about that, because I, after all, do have an eating disorder, so I have to be very careful with that. I really enjoy my food. I always have, but I especially enjoy it now. I eat a lot of healthy fat. I cook when I want to. I don't have to, because it could basically be salads with hard-boiled eggs, tuna, and different types of protein. And if I want to make something creative, like my next recipe on this channel will be keto/low carb biscuits, which that's one of the biggest things I can understand why people would say the keto diet is hard to sustain, because you've been eating carbs your whole life, and all of a sudden it's like, halt, stop, no more carbs. Easy does it on the carbs. And with that, people freak out. Like, what am I going to do? Because my big go-to was a sandwich for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But there's ways to go about it. You have so many options on the internet, and I feel like people are starting to learn about this and starting to look into it. Like, I have a friend, and she's a nurse practitioner, and she asked me about my blood work, and I told her, she asked me some of the numbers, and she said she was very impressed by my numbers because I'm not on any medication. But to be fair, I am a very physically active person, so, I do a lot of exercise, between taking care of a home and doing all the landscaping myself, and, I'm doing volunteer work where I'm walking dogs at the local animal shelter. So, and I go to the gym, and I do other things within my regular full-time position that are physical in terms of exercise. So that, I'm sure, plays into my blood work numbers. But nevertheless, she said she was very impressed by that, because I talked to her about the keto diet, and the first thing she said, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, Lisa, but the thing is, she said that the keto diet would be hard to sustain because I love my carbs. You know what? There's a lot of options available to us, and it's up to us and you to make your own informed decisions about your health and your wellness. If you've gotten something of value out of this video, I encourage you to like and subscribe to the channel, and also share the video with your friends and family. It's been, as usual, a pleasure to be here. And again, this video is dedicated to my sweetheart, 15-year-old French Bulldog, Dante. And God bless you all. Over and out. Ciao for now. And I'll see you in the next one.